This is John Mesko, Executive Director of Sustainable Farming Association. Thank you for joining me. Recently, I spoke with Kent Solberg, SFA's Livestock and Grazing Specialist, about a soil building technique that seems to be getting more exposure. It's called outwintering, and it provides some interesting benefits to livestock and crop producers.
And outwintering is such a powerful tool for building soil health, and it's a great way for producers to cut some costs also. With a little bit of planning, John, producers can really maximize the impact they have on their soil fertility here. One way folks use it is by identifying specific areas, whether it's in a hay field or a pasture or even a crop field, the soils just aren't what they used to be, or maybe a little on the light side, and a little boost in fertility would help. And by targeting those areas and then systematically feeding across those areas, and we see such a boost in productivity in the years following outwintering on that site. Well, the first thing you have is manure deposition out there, manure and urine out there, and whatever comes out of the back end of the cow is so full of life. There's enzymes, there's bacteria. As one soil scientist told me one time, we cannot replicate in a jug or a bag what comes out the back end of that cow. And so we're just giving that immediate boost there, along with the nitrates and the nitrogen and the phosphorus that's coming out there, plus the organic matter. Most producers know that if we're using, for example, round bales to outwintering, whether we're enrolling them or putting them in a bale feeder, there's always a certain percentage of waste. And that, waste, as we like to call it as producers, we think it's waste, runs about 15% of the bale on average, a little, but depending on the quality and if it was stored inside or not. Well, that waste, actually, if we're strategically feeding out there on that field, that waste now becomes additional organic matter. And organic matter is the food that feeds the microbes in the soil that helps build the kind of soil structure and environment in the soil that we're looking for to increase that productivity, that fertility on that site, as well as the water, the ability of that soil to capture moisture and hang on and store all that moisture and make it available for the plants so that it doesn't run downhill, carrying the nitrates and phosphates with it.
Are you talking about outwintering at any of the Keep Cattle in Minnesota events that are coming up here later this winter?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, this winter, that's been something we've been emphasizing and actually going out on farms and as we go around the state and looking at specific examples of where people are doing this. Producers can come out. They get an overview of the concept along with some other cost-saving ideas that they may want to consider, and then we have a local producer who's doing this, who stands up and talks about their experience, and then we bundle up and head out the door and stomp out through the snow and actually go look at the cows and see how well they're doing, and across the board, people are impressed.
That was Kent Solberg, SFA's Livestock and Grazing Specialist, talking about outwintering cattle on pasture and cropland in Minnesota. For more information about grazing workshops, check out the SFA website at www.sfa-mn.org. There you can also learn about and register for the Midwest Soil Health Summit, February 19th and 20th in Alexandria, Minnesota. This is John Mesko. May your calves be healthy and your crops fruitful. Thanks for listening.